What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. The beginning after the end, episode 6. So in this one, Arthur has a dream about his his mana core, like basically bursting out of him like one of those aliens, like a face hugger, and appears as like a shadow monster. So after he wakes up from his nightmare, Virion, and Tessia take him to Virion's old friend, who's like this like a seer or something. So so like basically, Virion tells Arthur that Tessia had been manipulated by various people since she's a princess. And so the fact that she trusts Arthur and that she smiles around him makes Virion believe that he can trust Arthur. So Virion's friend, who's a sorceress named Renia Darkison, she calls herself a diviner who can sense both the past and the future. So she sees some of Arthur's past. She doesn't say what all she sees. And so Arthur's able to send a message to his parents, who are happy that he's alive. And Arthur tells him that he's gonna join them once his illness is like cured, once the mana core is dealt with. So Arthur starts his train under Virion, and but before that, Tessia shows him around. Yo, Eleanor, Eleanor. So some elven children, including one named Faerith Ivsir, uh, basically mock Arthur, and Faerith challenges Arthur to a duel, and Arthur knocks him out with one punch. Hey, unlike Saitama, he doesn't get pissed off over winning with one punch. So, I mean, the only reason Arthur accepts is that refusing the challenge would dishonor Virion. So, Arthur starts a train. Then there's this 3-year time jump. Shows Arthur and Tessia as older. They obviously shown to be better with their magical abilities. And that's it. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a good episode. You know, basically Arthur still being awkward. You know, Tessia just being adorable. Like, basically like you could you could tell she has her parents wrapped around her little finger. And it's just freaking funny. So how Arthur interacted with the elves, that was interesting. So interesting next episode with 3-year time jump. How the elves are treating him, or do they still hate him, or they treat him better? I haven't read the source material, so I can't answer that. But I'm interested how next week's episode holds, as far as how the 3-year time jump is gonna look. So yeah, Andor season 2, episode 7 through 9. So in these three, we finally get to the Gorman Massacre. Finally get to it. Well, Disney's version anyway. So basically, 1 year after the previous three, you know, rebels are starting operations on Yavin 4. Cassian and Bix live there. So Cassian and Willman go to Gorman to kill Dedra. Then And during all this, you have the rebels on Gorman being portrayed as terrorists by the media, by the Holonet, you know, which I don't even know if they even call it Holonet in the show, even though it's basically what it's doing. So, Bix meets this force healer, which that's another issue. That's one problem I don't like. It's like force is not a freaking bandage. I mean, force can do a lot of things. Not some be-all, but it's not. It's like you need actual medical supplies. Anyway, so basically, and so on. Gorman says Captain Kaido arrives to like temporarily supplant Dedra. Cyril is starting to doubt Dedra and what she said about outside agitators. So yeah, in episode 8 we have the actual protest. They're all the Gormans are doing chants and they repeatedly sing their national anthem, whatever. And basically, so you have all these riot officers, like with riot shields, weapons and stuff, trying to hold back the protesters. Then a sniper hits one, the Imperial sniper shoots at one of the riot officers, and basically the Imperials just open fire. So it was a false flag operation, which we all knew was false flag. Basically, a bunch of people are killed. Cyril sees Cassian, tries to kill him, but he's not happy when Cassian doesn't recognize him. So the Gorman resistance leader killed Cyril. And then, Cassian takes back this KX unit, basically K2SO, back with him to to Yavin, while Wilman stays behind with his girlfriend Drina to deal with the aftermath. So episode 9, Mom Mothma gives her speech condemning the Empire's actions on Gorman, while Bail Organa stays behind, basically kind of acting as her, the rebels' eyes and ears there. Basically because of Leia. They don't say it, but it's because of Leia. Luthen stays behind to, be I guess the shadow like of the rebellion, does the more extreme stuff that keeps them the heat off of Mothma. And basically Cassian helps Mothma escape. You know, kills like this ISB agent, then kills this Mothma's driver who was also an ISB agent. Mothma is very horrified. Cassian killing people. Clearly she's not used to combat, which is a problem when you're leading a rebellion. But then once you know, once Cassian gets Mothma back to Yavin 4, he tries to leave Bix, but Bix had already left, leaving a message for him saying that the rebels need him and she wants to leave so that he doesn't have a reason to leave. Then the rebels finish reprogramming the KX droid, revealing K2SO. So yeah, so this is definitely the best of this season and probably of the whole show, like these 3 episodes. Because stuff actually happens. Now there are still complaints. I wish HoloNet would look more sci-fi, look more like Star Wars, instead of looking like a retro TV. like an old news broadcast. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think a lot of stuff could have been shortened, like protest scenes. They could have shortened a lot of that, you know, reduced it and condensed it all more. And, like basically the first two episodes of this set could have been done as one. They could have taken stuff out, made it all as one episode. You know, so 9 was relatively properly paced. I did have a problem with Bail Organa setting up on Mothra because that brings some heat on him and Leia. Now, I have problems with other stuff like Bail Organa being a public face of the rebellion does cause some lore issues because of Leia being a senator. I'm not gonna get into that. That's like my only major issue with Force Unleashed, like the great video game. But like, so I mean, I feel like once there's a lot of EU content I don't know. So as far as Bail Organa goes, if there's content that allows Bail to be a public face of the rebellion while keeping the heat off Leia, I am not aware of any. There could be some, anyway, but here's the issue. With, with this, I have problem with Bale saying using the certain word that I will not repeat. I don't like to cuss, but foul language in Star Wars should be at worst PG level, and that's what it was for a while. PG. Generally, PG-13 ratings were due to like limbs being chopped off and stuff. It's not due to foul language. It was PG level foul language forever. Like, I mean, that's how it was. It was PG level foul language, which basically means everything except S and F. Once you have S in, becomes at least PG-13, then more than one F becomes R. I mean, we haven't had the F bomb dropped in Star Wars, thank goodness. But my other issue is okay, so this being a side Gorman thing, being a psyop by the Empire, I didn't have a problem with that. I think I think generally if the Empire was gonna do that, it would take a lot quicker than that. It would not take 1 year for all that to happen. And for Rebels, yeah, Luthen's known to be more brutal, but he basically a psyop officially kickstarted rebellion. Like a freaking psyop, like one of the rebels did a psyop to sacrifice civilians to kickstart the rebellion. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, that is a problem. I mean, it's not like everyone was inspired by it and wanted to fight the Empire. That'd be one thing. But the fact that Luthen, when he uses a psyop, pisses me off. Like, cause that's apparently Disney's timeline. What kicks off the rebellion? What starts the war? What starts the Galactic Civil War? So, I mean, that still pissed me off. I mean, next week we should get the final 3 episodes 1 year before Rogue One. So next week I'm thinking Dedra and Luthen both kick in the bucket. And if Bix is not killed, there'll probably be a time jump. I'm predicting. Mothma and so yeah, by introducing Mon Mothma rather than like Bail put himself in the crosshairs, Leia in the crosshairs. So he caused a lot. That's a lot. There's a lot of problems with that. And if it was Darn Beliblis doing that, that can make more. But Darn wouldn't do that. Darn would do it himself. He would say, because he was already well known for hating Palpatine, but they don't have him in that show or really any. Like Disney's mentioned him by name once, but he's not played a role. Because Garbella's would be a cool character to have in the center of Corellia, Han Solo's home planet. One of the few politicians that Han Solo respects and openly respects. Because Han Solo was never open too much about respecting like Mon Mothma, like because she acted more like a politician. Garmilibus was a Corellian. Corellians are they can be a different breed of people. Like there's a reason Corellians are cool. So yeah, I damn. These were the most watchable. These were the most watchable episodes, best paced, and let's see how next week's go. Don't have high expectations. Most of this show has been trash. Like season one was boring as hell. First three episodes this season were like utter trash. That was awful television. Second set, a little better, some good, but a lot of bad. You know, well, this set mostly good. Definitely some pacing problems, but these three were decent. Maybe next week's will be better. Who knows? So yeah, next week's gonna end it all. Well, and that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.